So you're looking at him. Maybe you're on the couch or you just got off the phone with him and you're thinking, is he the one? Gosh, that question takes up so much space in our heads, doesn't it? But lately, maybe there's been another question, a deeper one that feels a little scarier to say out loud. Will he be a good dad? Before we pour years of our lives into someone, we have to know. We just have to. Because believe me when I say that the little things that feel off about this commitment to you are often the very same clues about his readiness to be a father. And I know we are taught to see the good in people, to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm a Cancer. My whole personality is built on the hope that people can change. But I've also had to learn that patterns are powerful. The way he acts today isn't just a phase, it's a preview. So today, we're going to gently stop making excuses. We're going to stop whispering, oh, he'll grow up when it's time, to ourselves. A baby will change him. You know that's not true. We're just going to get honest. We're going to talk about 7 signs that he might not just be a fixer-upper, but might be truly unprepared for a real partnership and for being a dad. Seeing this stuff clearly isn't about judging him. It's about protecting you, your heart, and the family you might dream of one day. So if you've ever had that little knot in your stomach, that quiet voice that whispers something isn't quite right, it's time to listen to her. Let's get into the signs he's already showing you, starting with one that's so common and so confusing. He's a master of vague promises and future faking. So the first sign is that he avoids any real concrete talks about the future. This one is tricky because it often sounds so romantic on the surface. It's the guy who is amazing at painting this beautiful abstract painting of a life together, but he never actually buys the canvas. He'll say things like, one day we're going to travel the world, or I can't wait for our life together to start. But if you try to nail anything down like, hey, how about we look at flights for that trip in 6 months? Or I saw this cute neighborhood. What do you think about living here next year? Suddenly he gets all slippery. He changes the subject. He says, let's just enjoy right now. Or suddenly a big stressful project at work becomes all he can talk about. This is a classic future faking tool. He's dangling just enough of a future to keep you hooked on the present with no real plan to make it happen. He gives you the movie trailer, but the movie is never coming out. You might tell yourself he's just spontaneous or that he hates feeling pressured, but here's where we have to connect the dots to fatherhood. Being a good dad is the opposite of a vague future. It's doctor's appointments, school enrollment deadlines that you absolutely cannot miss, saving for college, and figuring out who is picking who up from soccer practice 3 years from now. It requires someone who can look at the future and say, okay, let's build it. If he can't even commit to a vacation 6 months away, how will he feel about the non-negotiable 18+ year commitment of raising a whole human being? A man who avoids future talk is often a man who is quietly terrified of responsibility. The future doesn't look like an adventure to him. It looks like a cage. And in his mind, a child might feel like the ultimate lock on that cage. When he says, let's just see where this goes, he's telling you where it's going. It's staying right here. He's not ready to be a co-pilot. So the second sign is that his life is basically a one-man show. He fits you in the empty little spaces in his life instead of building a new shared life with you. In real life, this looks like his hobbies, his friends, his gym schedule, and his projects always taking priority. You feel like you're the one who is always checking his calendar, always adjusting your plans to make it work. He might cancel your dinner date because his friend invited him to a last-minute game. Or he expects you to be totally cool with him spending the entire weekend on his passion project, leaving no real time for the two of you. His money is another big tell. If he's dropping cash on the newest gadget, trip with the boys or expensive gears for his hobbies, but the idea of a joint savings account for the house makes him break out in hives, that's a clue. He's operating like a single guy who just happens to have a girlfriend. You're an accessory to his life, not a partner in it. It's so easy to spin this as just him being independent, but that kind of deep-rooted self-focus is a huge red flag. A partnership means sometimes putting the we before the me. If he can't do that now, he is not ready for the meteor of love and responsibility that is a child. And let's just be honest about what this means for fatherhood. A baby does not care about his need for me time. A sick toddler doesn't respect his sacred Saturday morning golf game. Being a parent is an exercise in relentless selflessness. It's sacrificing your sleep, your time, your freedom for this little person you love more than anything. A man who is selfish with his time and resources now will likely become a resentful dad. He'll see his child as a burden that gets in the way of his real life. He'll be the guy who thinks he's babysitting his own kids. He's showing you right now that his world is a one-man show. We have to believe him. The third sign is that he is just emotionally unavailable. He is a man who has had a hard time with his own feelings, and he really can't handle yours. This is the guy who just checks out when things get deep. You try to talk about your feelings or where the relationship is going, and he physically shuts down. He'll get quiet and start scrolling on his phone, or he'll get defensive and flip it on you, saying you're being too emotional or starting drama. When you're upset, he doesn't offer a hug. He offers a solution or just vanishes until you're not crying anymore. It can feel like you're in a relationship with a beautiful, sturdy brick wall. It looks strong, but it's never going to hug you back. It leaves you feeling so lonely, even when he's right there next to you. For a committed relationship, this is a slow poison. You cannot build a life with someone you can't truly connect with. But for fatherhood, this is even more critical. Kids are just a beautiful, chaotic whirlwind of feelings. They need a parent who can be an emotional, safe place for them. An emotionally walled-off man can't be that safe place. When his toddler is having a meltdown, his instinct won't be to comfort, but to shut down because he is uncomfortable. When his teenager comes to him with anxiety, he won't have the words to connect. He'll probably dismiss it or get frustrated. He risks raising kids who learn that their feelings are an inconvenience or that they should hide parts of themselves to be loved. An emotionally unavailable man can't teach his kids emotional health. He can't open a door for them that he's kept locked for himself. Sign number 4, a deep, consistent pattern of avoiding responsibility. And I'm not talking about just forgetting to take out the trash once. It's a core part of how he moves through the world. So you're going to see it in different areas. Financially, maybe he lives paycheck to paycheck, even with his good job, or he's always in some kind of debt. Professionally, maybe he can't hold a job for long and it's always his boss's fault or some coworker's drama. In your relationship, he never takes ownership when he messes up. During a fight, he'll twist things around to blame you or give you that classic non-apology. I'm sorry you feel that way. You know the one. He's just not reliable. He operates with a not my problem attitude, and when things get hard, he's looking for the exit, not the solution. This is a deal breaker for commitment because a healthy relationship is built on two people saying, I've got your back and you've got mine. A man who dodges responsibility is basically telling you that he expects you to be the grown-up, the one who will manage life and clean up his messes. And you're not going to be mommy to some grown man. You're not. Not on this channel. What is being a parent if not a giant 18+ year contract of a beautiful, terrifying responsibility? It is 24/7. A dad is responsible for the health, safety, and heart of his kids. A man who avoids responsibility now won't magically find it in the delivery room. He'll be the dad who forgets it's his turn for the 3 a.m. feeding. He'll be the one who ducks and covers when the bills are overwhelming or a kid needs discipline. He'll see parenting tasks as helping you out, not his actual job. That's not a partner. That's another child for you to raise. And that's a one-way ticket to burnout and resentment. So let's just pause and take a breath for a second before we get to the next sign, which is a really dangerous one because it is so easily mistaken for passion. I want to check in. If this is hitting home, I just want you to know that seeing it is the first bravest step. It can be so much. So I made a little something for you. It's a free PDF called the Relationship Readiness Checklist. It's a simple private guide to help you walk through these signs and a few others so you can check in with yourself with a clear head. You can download it for free in the description below. This isn't about making a big dramatic decision tonight. It's about giving yourself the clarity to make the right decision for your future. The link is in the description. So the fifth sign is a man who lacks patience and gets angry or frustrated really easily. He might even write it off as him just being passionate or blame it on stress from work. This is the guy who gets furious in traffic, who snaps at a server for being too slow, who gets intensely frustrated when a piece of IKEA furniture isn't coming together right. During a fight, it can escalate from 0 to 1,000 with yelling or hurtful words, or even something physical. He just has a really low tolerance for being inconvenienced. You might even find yourself constantly trying to manage his mood, like a little weather forecaster for his emotions just to avoid an outburst. That is not passion. It is emotional immaturity. In a relationship, it creates this constant feeling of instability, of walking on eggshells. But when you think about it in terms of fatherhood, it is honestly terrifying. Patience is not just a virtue in parenting. It is the entire game. Children are messy and dirty and loud and illogical. They spill juice on a new rug. They have epic meltdowns in a grocery store. They refuse to sleep for reasons we will never understand. How will a man with a short fuse handle a baby with colic who has been screaming for 3 hours straight? How will he react to the defiant no phase of a 2-year-old? That quick temper can turn into yelling at his kids, punishments that are way too harsh, and a home where children are afraid of making normal kid mistakes. A good dad should be the calm in the storm. A man with a short fuse is the storm. So sign number 6 is that he has a lot of unresolved stuff from his past, from exes or his childhood, that he is taking and actively dragging into his present with you. So this can look like a lot of things. This can look like a guy who talks about his exes all the time, usually painting himself as the innocent victim in every breakup. Or he might constantly compare you to a past partner. This also often comes from family stuff. If he had parents who were critical, neglectful, or unstable, he might carry those wounds with him, either being terrified of real intimacy or accidentally recreating those same unhealthy dynamics. He hasn't done the work to heal, so he's basically bleeding his past wounds all over your current relationship. The problem for your commitment is that you're just not in a relationship with him. You're in a relationship with him and all of the ghosts of his past. He can't be fully present with you because he's still arguing with the people who aren't even in the room. And the fatherhood implication here is so deep. We all have baggage. Lord knows I have a whole Samsonite set. But the work is to unpack it so that we don't force our kids to carry it for us. A man who hasn't healed his own childhood wounds is at a high risk of passing them down. If he had a super critical dad, he might become one himself without even realizing it. If he learned that love is conditional, he may struggle to give his own children unconditional love and support. Being a good father takes so much self-awareness. It means he has to have faced his own demons so that his kids won't have to. This last one is so subtle and so corrosive. The seventh sign is that he is consistently critical of you. He nitpicks your choices, your friends, your dreams, your appearance, often disguises him just being honest or just trying to help you. It's those tiny paper cut comments. Are you sure you want to wear that? Are you sure you want to eat that? That career goal seems a little unrealistic, don't you think? Or him constantly pointing out your flaws. This isn't loving, constructive feedback. It's a pattern of criticism that leaves you feeling like you are constantly auditioning for his love and never quite getting the part. This will kill a partnership. Your partner should be your safe place to land, the person who cheers the loudest for you. A constant critic isn't a partner. He's an adversary who slowly chips away at your self-esteem. And when you project this onto fatherhood, the damage multiplies. A father's voice is one of the loudest in a child's head. It often becomes their inner voice. A critical father raises children who are anxious and full of self-doubt. They grew up thinking that love has to be earned through perfection. A man who nitpicks you will nitpick his child. He'll be the dad who focuses on the one missed shot in the game, not the 10 great plays. He'll point out the one B on the report card instead of celebrating all the A's. He won't be a role model. He'll be a source of pressure. Your future kids deserve a father who is their loudest cheerleader, not their harshest critic. So there we have them, the 7 signs. So the master of vague promises, the one-man show, the emotionally locked down guy, the one who avoids responsibility, the short-fused man, the one living in his past, and the critic. I know that seeing these signs in someone you love is very painful. It really hurts. It's so tempting to just explain them away or to hope that you can love him enough to fix him. But you can't build a future on the shaky ground of someone's potential. We have to look at who he is showing us he is right now. And please, please hear me on this. Seeing this clearly is not a tragedy. It is an opportunity. It is your future self and the sweet souls of your potential children thanking you for being brave enough to see the truth now before it gets any more complicated. The most loving thing you can do for your future children is to choose a father who is already the man they will need. You deserve a real partner who feels like coming home. And your children deserve a dedicated, present, and supportive dad. Please do not settle for less. I would love to hear from you in the comments which of these signs resonated with you the most. Your story might be the one that helps someone else feel a little less alone and see their situation with more clarity. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch others on the channel. I always have conversations like this. But yeah, send this to anyone that you think needs it, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.